Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash. Yes, very weird, but we're actually I think when this video comes out will be 16 or 17 days off the 2-year anniversary since the series finale, which aired on it aired on May 24th, not the May 24th, but I guess the 24th of May, 2023. So it feels pretty weird that it's been that long since the show came to an end. It definitely doesn't feel that long. Like, I still remember obviously going through the final season in season 9 and some stuff being good, some stuff not being that great, but it definitely doesn't feel like it was that long ago. But I guess time flies and everything like that. But as we know, the longer a show has come to an end, or at the very least the longer someone or multiple people are off a show, whether it's they leave before the show's ended or the show just ends like The Flash did in season 9, you start to get some more maybe like honest feelings about certain things that are going on, whether that is, stuff that they like that maybe a lot of other people didn't like, or the other way around, stuff they didn't like that other people didn't like, and then they can now support the fact that they didn't like that either. And of course, Grant Gustin has started to go to many more conventions after the show's ended compared to when he was actually on the show. I think when he was actually on the show, he only went to like 2, maybe 3 when the show was actually running and he was, acting on the show and stuff. But that makes sense because, he's doing the acting, wants to spend time doing some other stuff rather than going off and doing the convention. So he avoided that for the most part throughout the time he was on the show. But after the show's done, he's embracing, the community and everything like that and wanting to meet as many people as possible doing these conventions. And at Liverpool Comic Con over the past weekend, we got 2 interesting things. One is like not the break, but like an outwards an outwards thing of honesty, if you want to put it, from Grant Gustin when it comes to a couple of specific things from season 7, which a lot of people put down as the worst season of the show. Now, of course, that's going to vary from person to person, but I think overall a lot of people fall in line with that, or at least maybe it's a disappointment factor. I'm not too sure, maybe a bit of both. But yeah, he opens up about some stuff from season 7 where he had a bit of a question mark, like what's going on here, as well as some stuff in regards to the specific series finale from season 9, episode 13, and giving more details on a scene that we knew was meant to be different, but him actually adding a bit to it and adding one thing in particular that we didn't know about. But the first thing to talk about from this Liverpool Comic Con panel, that it was himself, Daniel Panabaker, of course, who played Caitlin, Tom Cavanagh, who of course played many versions of Wells and Thorne, and then Chantel Van Centen was there, who of course played Patty Spivot. I think it was meant to be someone else, and she was just at this convention anyway, so they put her on the panel to replace, I don't know who it was. I feel like there was someone that was meant to be there. It might have been Candace Patton, I'm not too sure, but someone else was meant to be at this convention, I think. It wasn't, and then be on this panel. Like, Chantel Van Centen was meant to be at the convention, but I don't think she was originally on this panel. I'm not too sure at the very least. But the first thing that, Grant talked about was in season 7, of course, Barry and Iris were shown to have created the very much powerful energy beings called the Forces, which sounded like a cool storyline going into it, but it wasn't really done that well. They sort of dropped the ball. But of course, these beings were treated like they're, children on the show, and Grant really wasn't a fan of that idea, with him saying, calling the Forces my children, I tried to talk them out of that, he said. Now, of course, at the time, I think we all remember us being like, oh, it's a bit lame, isn't it? It's a bit cringy. Like, fair enough if like the Forces or something, and they did say that they, like, Barry and Iris were their mother and father. Fair enough if it's some like weird like worship thing, but it was weird when Barry and Iris started to call them my children, like, or their children. Like, that's when it got a bit, hold on, that's a bit weird. Why would Barry and Iris say that? That makes no sense unless they're getting, drinking the Kool-Aid, if you want to put it. But this obviously wasn't the first time where, like, Grant had given some honesty. He actually gave some honesty, actually, when they were filming the show. And this, once again, was in season 7. I'm sure many people remember which was the Cisco farewell episode. It wasn't the final episode he was in, because then he comes back like in the finale, I think it is, that season. But in the Cisco goodbye episode where they do like the poker face at the end and everything like that, there's a breakdancing scene where Barry's impacted by, I think it's the new Rainbow Raider, and he starts breakdancing. In the original thing, he just starts breakdancing. There's no context to the breakdance or anything like that. All of a sudden, the Flash is this great breakdancer, but Grant was like, hold on, this doesn't make sense. Why would he just come in and start breakdancing with no context? Like, sure, it might be silly and goofy, but maybe add a bit of context. So Grant was the one that pushed in the fact that they have to explain it. So they, in that episode, they have it that Barry, I think, like speed watched YouTube tutorials, or maybe a speed read a book or something on breakdancing. That's why he knows how to breakdance. Wasn't in the script originally. That was because of Grant Gustin. So there might have been some other cases like that, where he put his foot forward as the lead of the show and went, hold on, maybe can we add this in and, you know, maybe flesh it out a bit. And then obviously something like this with the my children thing with the forces, where he's like, I don't like it, and he tried to talk them out of that, but of course it ended up sticking. So whether that was an executive decision from someone like Eric Wallace or the writers voted, I'm not too sure. But one other thing you talked about from season 7 was specifically the finale fight scene with Godspeed, not any sort of running around or anything like that, but the lightsaber battle where they make the constructs out of the Speed Force, and it's pretty much a big lightsaber fight. And pretty much Grant's reaction to that was, I was like, we can do this now? Really? So it's almost like a bit of like bewilderment of like, okay, maybe this is jumping the shark a bit. But I don't think it was. Like, I think it's definitely goofy, but I feel like it fits season 7 really well. Like if that was in season 6, or even some stuff in season 8, or, you know, even like a season 3 or 4 or something, maybe it might, no, probably wouldn't fit in season 4. Yeah, it probably stands out more, but in season 7 it feels like it fit. Now that's not necessarily a compliment, it's just because it probably ran along some of the side of the other stuff, like some of the stuff with the forces and even some of the earlier stuff in the Godspeed arc, might I say. Though I don't think the Godspeed arc was that bad, it's just a bit underwhelming is probably the best way to put it. But, you know, it'd be interesting to see, you know, as you get like a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, or whatever it is, where not just Grant, but even some of the other actors are like, okay, maybe we would have done something different here, or even just like completely call it out. Like, nah, that was us. Like, what were they thinking? Why did I agree to say that on screen? Whatever it might be. And before we get into like the alternate scene thing, which we'll finish off the video with, someone did ask about the casting of the DCU Flash, so what James Gunn is going to do, and Grant was pretty funny with it. He was like, I'm not going to give any suggestions. Sort of like opening the door, like, hey, I might want to do it. But yeah, I'm sure like whoever gets it, Grant will be pretty supportive of it. But yeah, the final thing to talk about is this alternate scene that we're meant to get in the finale. Not a deleted scene, it was just meant to be an alternate take on a scene that we got. Now, Grant Gustin was asked if there were any script changes to the Flash series finale due to him catching COVID, which most of us would know that happened when filming, and he revealed that there was supposed to be an extended version of that negative Speed Force scene, which of course had like Reverse Flash was there, Godspeed was there, Zoom was there, Savitar was there, Reverse Flash, everything, and Cobalt Blue, of course, was there. And he was meant to be in this scene as Pizza Face Savitar, with him saying, Danielle Panabaker would remember better than I have. I was supposed to be in the scene that had all of them, and I was in the armor. So the actual Savitar armor, that was a very different scene. I was supposed to be in that as that Pizza Face version of Savitar in the makeup, and it got much shorter. So that was like the main thing that got cut, like in regards to him being in a scene. And then all the other stuff, he just had to like film on his own. So if you go back to like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's where like it's Team Flash versus all the different evil speedsters, and they go off in different directions. And when you watch that scene, it's like, if it's like a wide shot and you can see the Flash, that's the stunt double. And then when it is just Grant as the Flash, that's like a refilmed scene, and they like green screened him in or just shot it by himself. So they had to like tinker with that stuff. But this scene in the negative Speed Force was the one where, you know, we got actually something removed that would have been pretty cool. And the thing that would have made it interesting is the fact that he would have been in the armor, but then had the helmet off. Like, that would have been the interesting thing, because a lot of the other, I don't think we ever saw him. I might be wrong, someone might have to tell me. I don't think we ever saw Savitar, like the Barry Savitar, in the suit without the helmet. It was always just him walking out of the suit, or just not in the suit at all. We never saw it like flick up, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering things there. But I feel like we never saw him in the suit without the helmet. I don't think we did. But someone might have to let me know if that's the case. But because I don't think we did, that would have been just a cool new thing there. And of course, just the dialogue difference and everything like that. Because I think when Savitar's there, he says one thing. Like, I think he says one thing. But if Pizza Face Barry was there and they did all the effort to put Grant Gustin in the makeup and everything like that, there would have been more there. So the scene would have been extended, and I think it would have been more satisfying. And you still could have had it where you still had the Savitar voice done by Tobin Bell, like, you know, the Jigsaw voice and everything like that. And then the helmet goes off and you see Pizza Face Barry, and then you get the Grant Gustin version there. So that would have been cool to get more stuff there, of course. But we knew that this was a scene that was affected. We just didn't know specifically how it was designed, and the fact that we now know he was meant to be in the armor makes it pretty damn cool. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't like a ridiculous amount. Like, this was a Q&A with fans, and it was just a lot of like repeated things, if you want to put it. So, but that just happens, I guess. But obviously, at the same time, you probably weren't expecting it. Like, I wasn't expecting Grant to really criticize season 7 or anything like that. But at the same time, it's always interesting to hear, isn't it? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything we went over. Always curious to hear what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.